guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Sunday. It's time for a review show special. Now, this is where I take a deep dive into a particular company, into a particular creator, into a particular product, and I kind of just go deep and tell you all about what it is that they do. We tend to spend a bit more time on the review show specials than I do on the Craig and Ryland review show. And today I'm doing another TCC review show special, mainly because TCC are bringing out so much stuff. Like, they've been around for a while, they've brought out a ton of magic, and now it seems like every day there's a new TCC trick or a new Kickstarter or something new coming out from TCC. So I did a TCC review show special a couple of months ago. You guys might remember it. That's the one where I reviewed the table and a bunch of other stuff. So today I'm going to be looking at 4 new products from TCC, 4 brand new products that have recently just come out. I'm going to go through them all and show you exactly what I think. Now, these are available from TCC's website, and they are also available from all good magic dealers. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. Let's have a look at this week's review show special. Okay, so the first trick we're going to be looking at is the Tunnel by Jay Wang and Jimmy Fan. So the Tunnel by Jay Wang and Jimmy Fan. So what is the Tunnel? The Tunnel basically is TCC's reimagining of the coin squeeze. Now, if you've never seen a coin squeeze before, it's a beginner's trick. It's kind of the next level up from dynamic coins where you first start getting into magic. And the idea is it's 2 sort of brass cylinders and a little brass block that goes in between them. And the idea is the coins pass through one by one. Well, what they've done is they've TCC'd it, and they've created the Tunnel. So what you get is you get these 2 beautiful sort of mini tunnels here, which have got brass on the inside, they're wooden on the outside, and they look amazing. Like, they really do look very, very good. And using these, you can perform absolute miracles. Now, there's a lot of differences with this product and the original coin squeeze. So if you're thinking this is just a updated version of the coin squeeze, you might be right in one respect, but also in another respect you might be wrong as well. Before I go into the differences, let's have a look at a full live performance of this. I performed this to Matt a little while ago, who has no experience of coin magic at all. We'll have a look at that performance, and then I'll tell you exactly what I think. How you doing, Matt? You're not a coin guy, are you? So you probably don't know much about this. So I've got a few things here. First of all, I've got a playing card. You can examine that. Then I've got 4 coins. You can examine those. And then finally, I've got this. Now, this is 2 pieces of wood with brass on the inside. And you'll notice there's magnets here and there's magnets here. And the purpose for the magnets is that kind of locks it in position. You can examine that if you want to. So you'll see when you put it together, the magnets are on the inside, it'll just lock itself into position. Yeah? Now, the reason for that is very simple. We're going to put the playing card right there and put this together. So now, can you see that there's no way to go from the one side of the tunnel to the other side because you've got this this playing card blocking it? Would you agree?
Yeah.
So in other words, let me show you exactly what I mean. If I take these 4 coins and put them in, they're not going to go through to the other side because you can see that they get stopped by the card, yeah? Now we're going to do something. I want you to watch very, very carefully. And I'm going to go really, really slowly. I want to see there's nothing in my hands, just the 4 coins, and we're good to go. So watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see them there, right? Now watch. Nothing happens until I do that. And just like that, hang on. There you go, the first one goes right through. Now, let me show you, hang on. That leaves us with 3. I'm going to do it again for you. I'm going to put this over this one here. 1, 2, 3, yeah? Now look, you can see 1 underneath, 3 on top. All I have to do is do that. And when I do, you probably heard it. But now that's 2 gone through. And here we have 2. Let me do it again for you. I'm going to go really slowly. Look, I want you to see two. Is that fair?
Yeah.
You can look down and you can see. You put these two in yourself. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Just give it a magic wiggle. Just wiggle it slightly. Did you see them drop down a bit more? Because they did, because that's now 3. Yeah, that just leaves 1. Hold your hand out. The last one. 1, 2, 3. This goes on top. Put your other hand on top like that. Now watch the last coin. All I want you to do is just give it a wiggle and you'll feel it happen. Give it a wiggle. Yeah. Did you feel it?
I felt something.
Well, that's because the coin's gone. Lift up your hand. Pick it up yourself. That's all 4 coins right there. And my friend, you can immediately examine everything.
That's very cool, isn't it?
Isn't that great?
As soon as you started, I was like, shit, I wish I'd examined the card better. But there's nothing.
This is not a Matt test, but I like seeing his confused look. I get a kick out of it. So that was a performance of the tunnel, and as you can see, it's a really strong trick. Now, the original version, everything kind of screwed together. This doesn't. There's magnets located here and here, and you actually point those out. It's not that these magnets are designed to do something sneaky. You point out that the magnets lock this whole thing together. And the nice thing is you can actually have this examined. They can look at it. They can check it all out. They can make sure it's all okay. And then you can go straight into the routine that you saw. Now, I was using 4 coins in that routine. You can use 3, you can use 4. The advantage of this routine, the basic routine, which is what I performed for you, is very, very easy to do. There's no skill at all. There's one move, but you don't even have to do that move because they actually go through what to do if you don't want to do that move. So it's actually pretty much self-working and you'll be able to do it straight away. It's designed for $half coins. You could probably get away with other coins as well. You'd have to try that, but you know, $half are absolutely perfect for this. Now, the tutorial is about 20 minutes long, and they go through exactly how to do the routine that I performed for you, and then they go through a longer routine, because the other thing that this will do is you can actually put these together. And if you get yourself a magnet, and they go through which magnet you need, a cylindrical magnet that's kind of designed to fit inside here, and they tell you exactly what you need to go for, you can create an effect. If you remember the old Newton's nightmare, it's a little bit like that. It creates an effect where you can drop this thing through and it slows down as it goes through. So the whole idea of the longer routine, and you have to buy the magnet because they can't ship it with the magnet. But the idea of the longer routine is you bring these out and you have them examined. You then bring out this magnet and you drop it down. And when you drop it down, it slows down as it drops through. And it does look very, very eerie. You then put that down to one side and then you take the coins out. You do the routine that I just showed you. And then for the finale, it's kind of like a Tommy Wonder. If you remember the Tommy Wonder 2-cup routine where the bag keeps going underneath the cups. Well, with this, at the end of the routine, at the end of the coin thing, you put these back together and then you just snap your fingers and the cylinder that you put down to one side just drops back out. And the reason it does is because it's vanished from over here, which is a really nice moment. Now, I'll be honest with you, I probably won't do that. It requires a table, really requires a close-up pad. And I don't think the magnet, the idea of the thing falling down through slowly, I don't think it adds enough to warrant doing that longer routine. But in terms of the shorter routine, this is so good. It's much better made than any coin squeeze I've seen before. I love the fact that it locks together with magnets. I love the fact that you just use a playing card instead of a brass block. Just the whole thing screams quality. I love this. This is one of the best things that TCC have brought out, in my opinion, which is why I'm giving it 100%, and both myself and Ryland are definitely going to be performing this in our close-up act. It's amazing. It's called The Tunnel. It's by TCC. It's 100%. Let's move on with the next trick. So the next item I want to talk to you about is the Mobius Rising card. The Mobius Rising card, manufactured by Chen Yang. And the Mobius Rising card is basically the classic Rising card. If you remember the old classic Rising card, Alakazam have got a version of it. So do, I remember years ago, Keith Bennett selling me my first Rising card many years ago. So it's a classic. It's been around for a long time. There's been some improvements that TCC have made, but if you don't know what the classic Rising card is, let me show you that right now. I'm going to perform it for Matt, let you see what the performance looks like, and then we'll bring it back and I'll go through exactly what this whether it's any good or not.
Now, Matt, you've never seen the classic Rising card, have you? Deck of playing cards are all there. They're all different.
52 cards, 52 possibilities.
Try not to say that, just to vary up my patter. Grab a card, show the camera. Do not show me, because I cheat. You got it?
Yeah.
Put the card back down. I'm going to leave it down in the middle of the deck. I want you to see no breaks, no controls, no nothing. The card's gone in the deck, lost in the deck. Nothing in my hands, nothing up my sleeves. All you're about to see right now is a bunch of magic. You see, I just concentrate. I snap my fingers, and I just do this. And as I do this, what happens is one card, and one card only, starts to rise from the deck. One card, which is the 8 of spades. Was that your card?
How good's that?
So that's the Rising card. And I used to do this for years when I was at restaurants. This used to be a trick that I did for years and years and years. And what the TCC version has over any other version is it's very thin. That is the gimmick. So if anyone knows how this trick works, the gimmick is about 7 cards thin, which means that you could have it in your pocket and load it at the bottom of a deck very easily and be able to get into this kind of anytime, anywhere. I've tested it extensively. It works every single time. It's very reliable. I've found the problem with a lot of Rising cards, if they're not made well, then they're not 100% reliable, and then you've got a problem. This is very reliable. It looks really good. The rise looks great. There's a lot to like about this. I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to do it, and there's a few reasons I'm not going to do it. And the first reason is, I can do a Rising card like Uprising with Richard Sanders' Uprising that doesn't even use a gimmick deck of cards. It just uses a regular deck and sleight of hand. Or if I do want to do a Rising card that uses a gimmick, I can do something like the Henry Evans automatic Rising card, or Kundalini Rising, or Box Monster by Nate Kranzo, all of which either don't have a gimmick, or the gimmick is one card and one card only that can sit in the deck at any point. And with those versions, especially the Henry Evans version, I can have the spectator hold on to the cards as the rise happens. If I was going to actually, and even though the gimmick is only 7 cards thick, realistically, you want it in the deck before you begin. I said earlier on you could add it to the bottom of the deck, and you could, but I don't think you'd want to have the gimmick loose in your pocket. I think that you'd be worried about breaking it. So, realistically, I think you're going to want it in the deck the entire time, which means that you're going to have to use an entire deck to do this. And if I'm going to use an entire deck to do a routine like this, there's a very good chance I'm probably going to do something like Leviosa instead, which has the Rising card element on speed, then summon, has that killer finale that people never see coming. So look, here's the thing. You just saw the performance. It's very good. It works. If you like the classic Rising card, this is the best made version of the classic Rising card I've ever seen. It's very dependable. It's very well made, and it will not let you down as far as I can see. And it's very thin. I personally am not going to do it just because I've got other ways of achieving exactly the same thing. But that does not mean that this is not a great way to do it. If you want a great rising card that can be done walk around, that can be done no table required, no angle issues, completely self-working, and reset ready to do again, and you can have multiple cards taken, and you want to have a good tutorial, because the tutorial for this is great as well, then look no further. The Mobius Rising card is really good. I'm going to give it 79% because it's not something I plan on doing, but it's a great trick. So 79% from me. It's a really fun way of doing the Rising card. Like I said, if you saw the presentation and you like it, you're not going to go far wrong. Now, we're going to move on to another TCC trick. So next up, we have the Wonder Tube. And this is brand new, creative design by Shadow Lin. And there's a lot that you get inside this box. The tutorial for this is exceptional. It really is. What we have here, in essence, is TCC's version of the bill tube. So if you don't know what a bill tube is, the idea is it's been around since time began. A bill is borrowed, and once it's borrowed, it's vanished in some way, and then it appears inside a tube which is locked, that's been in the hands of the spectator apparently from the beginning of the trick. Bill tube's been around forever. There's a few advancements that TCC have made, but first of all I'm going to show you a performance of this. So let's have a look at me performing this to Matt, and I'll talk about the pros and the cons.
I didn't listen to any of that. I was finishing my croissant.
That's okay. It's a good croissant, isn't it? So I have a key.
You got 3.
I've got 3 keys, but they're all the same thing. You can pop that over there. We'll get back to that in a little bit. And fair enough. And also there's a handkerchief. You can make sure that's normal. We're examining stuff today. Is the handkerchief okay?
I think you sneezed in that, man.
Yeah, only once. We happy?
Yeah.
Good stuff. So we've got a handkerchief, we have a key that you threw away, and have you got some money? I asked you to bring
I
money.
haven't got any money. I work for you.
I asked you to bring folding money. I know you have money because you're going on holiday tomorrow.
Yeah, but this is English though. I haven't changed it all into euros.
That's fine. Do me a favour, take this and write your name in big letters across the front of the £20 note. Because that way you'll know it's definitely yours.
I know it's mine. It's the only £20 note in the room.
Please sign it. There you go. Now,
are you allowed to deface money?
What you've done is slightly illegal, but I mean, you know.
The coin's not around anymore. So.
Now what I want you to do to
I don't think that matters, Jack.
that's I'm kind of a bit harsh. Now what I want you to do is I want you to draw moustache and glasses.
No.
Do it, Matt.
Do it, Matt. It's like he's a little devil.
He is, yeah.
I worked here too. I used to be nice when I started here.
You did. You used to be nice. I can vouch for that.
I don't actually remember that. Do
For
you?
the first couple of weeks, he was tolerable. Now he's just a bellend.
Yeah.
I learned it from you, man.
Do you notice I folded this up? This
I did
£20
notice,
note,
yeah.
into lots of small pieces.
So now it's
worth more. Do you know why?
effectively ruined.
No, it's worth more. Do you know why?
Why?
It's increased. Come for the magic, stay for the comedy. Anyway, do me a favour. Can you grab hold of it right there tightly? Can you do that? If you give me a chance to cheat, I will. Now, it's very important you don't let go of that. Now, this could go wrong because, frankly, I've only just learnt it. So if it does go wrong, I have got something over here. Let me just go and grab it. Dear me, I should have thought this through. I've got something over here. There you go. This is a security deposit for you. So if that £20, if anything happens, that £20 note, you get the contents of this bag. Happy?
Well, it depends on what's in the bag. Is it worth more than 20 quid?
Definitely.
It's quite heavy.
It's definitely worth more than 20 quid.
All right.
Okay, you ready? Hold this out like this. Now, you know how to do magic now, Matt, so you're going to do the magic here. I folded it up and I said it's worth more. It's increased. You're actually going to make it worth more. You're going to make it turn into a £50 note.
Nice.
All you have to do is take this hand, okay? First of all, now you need to wiggle your fingers and make the most magical noise you know. Wow! If I was a note, I'd be worth more now. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And this is the big moment.
Was that magical enough?
This is the big moment.
It is?
It was your £20 note. You've been holding on to it the whole time, right?
Yes.
It's now worth more. Reach and take it out and show everybody it's worth more. This is amazing because now Look at that. No, it's worth more. Oh, unfold it. Have a look. It's worth more, Matt, because magically, while you were holding on to it, that £20 note has changed into an IOU for £20, and that's definitely worth more, because if I don't pay it you, interest and stuff, it'll end up being worth £30 and £40 and £50. So you can take that on holiday with you, secure and safe in the knowledge that you know I'm good for it. Thanks very much for watching this, Magic Man.
Where's my 20 quid?
Huh?
Where's my 20 quid?
You don't want the 20 quid, you want the IOU.
I don't want the IOU.
You're not happy with that?
You couldn't even be bothered to write it out. You just put IOU.
Yeah. Yeah. I was busy. It's yours, you can keep it.
I think you just got conned.
Put it back in your
I
wallet.
think I got conned as well. Not for the first time being here.
I can give you the security deposit if you want.
I want the security deposit.
Okay, reach in there and tell everyone what's in there.
Is it a gold bar?
It feels like it could be a gold bar. It's very heavy.
Oh shit.
You know what that is?
It looks like a cylinder of some description.
That's been locked, right?
Ooh! The key!
The key of mystery. Do me a favour?
Can I try it? Can I
Go
open
for
it?
it, yeah, open it. Open it, go for it.
It's pretty solid. Oh, I've just realised what's going to happen. How the fuck's he done that?
That's
Open it up. Open it up. Do you know how to unlock a padlock? There you go. Now you'll see there's a bar. You can take the bar out. And then you unscrew the lid. And tell everyone what's in there. In fact, tilt it towards the camera and show them. It's a long screw, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
That's what she said. What's in there? Show them. See what's in there? It's another one.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's an even longer screw.
Fucking Nora. Bloody hell, man.
And what's inside there? Take it out, Matt. It can't be.
I don't think you can.
It's that.
Reach in.
Yes. That is like proper stuck in there, dude.
Oh my god.
I should have given you some.
I need some. Pass me that fork.
Oh my god.
I need something stronger than a chuppa chup. For fuck's sake.
It didn't actually cover what would happen if you did this. And at least you can see it's fully examinable.
What have you done?
I put.
I genuinely aren't. I'm not going to get my 20 quid back. That's in there forever.
Oh god.
Because what you've done is you've folded it
Yeah, of course I have.
and then put it in, and it's gone like a spring, and now it's stuck.
Yeah, got some pliers or something, man.
Pliers won't fit in there, Jack.
The small thing.
The longer thin ones that are in the case downstairs, Mike. I might actually need to go and get them. This is ridiculous.
So, thanks very much.
I think I may have found a flaw with the trick.
The trick is amazing. Your £20 note has vanished and appeared in a thing.
Ah, got it.
Hey.
Unfold it because I'll listen.
But is it the signed one? Yes, it is.
Hey.
How cool's that?
Can you imagine if you'd done all that and it was another
You know what
IOU?
you know
That
what you
was
need?
lot.
You know what you need? You need tweezers. Tweezers would have got it out really easy.
Oh no, you could have just not put it in there like a moron, and it would have been fine.
You need to fold it up that small.
Did it? Why? Yeah, you need
It's-
some tweezers.
Yeah, it's sweet that you think that that's how I got it in there as well.
Well, I mean, I don't know how you got it in there, but
Yeah, tweezers would work. They didn't say anything about that on the tutorial, but tweezers would definitely work. Yeah, it's examinable.
What's that for?
Stabbing you when you annoy me.
Don't. Ow!
See?
So there you go, that's WonderTube. Now, the first thing I need to tell you is that's really the first time I'd properly performed it to anybody. I'd obviously rehearsed it and everything. It was the first time I properly performed it to anyone. And you learn something every time you do a performance, right? In this case, I learned that we're going to need tweezers because obviously it didn't happen in practice. But when I performed it to Matt, obviously he had a real problem getting it out of the tube. Now, what was cool is he was like trying desperately to get it out and jiggling around with stuff, but he didn't find any gimmickry. Like, he had no idea how this works. So it's very robust. But my advice on this, having now performed it, is to make sure you've got some tweezers with you, because I think tweezers would be able to get that bill out very, very easily, or change the fold that you do when you do the routine. Now, you probably noticed that one of the big advancements of the TCC version is it's a bill tube inside a bill tube, which is great, which is really an interesting idea. It's an interesting way of doing this. And there is a very long thread on both of those bill tubes. The smaller bill tube has a longer thread than the bigger bill tube. So from a spectator's point of view, it feels absolutely impossible that you could undo this and that there's some way that you could get a bill inside there. It looks like it's absolutely impossible. Now, the tutorial goes through everything with a fine-tooth comb, and they go through many different ways of actually doing it and many different routines and so on and so forth. The main routine that TCC do, they use more of a kind of a gypsy switch type of switch with the handkerchief, and they switch the bill for the key. So they're holding on to the handkerchief, and then when they look inside there, it's the key to the padlock. I didn't quite like that, which is why I changed it to an IOU. But to be honest, if I was doing this, and I am planning on doing this, I would probably use a $100 bill switch, and I'd have the visual change. Now, this sort of trick lives and dies by how well it's made and how quick you can load the item into place. And I'm telling you right now that the load is super quick. You could have this set up in your pocket, just in your jeans or your trouser pocket, and you could go in there with the bill, come out a split second later with the bag, and you are good. You've got everything that you need. So it's a very quick load. And I think the more you do it, the faster the load will be. This was the first time I did it to Matt, and even though it was fine and he absolutely loved it, and afterwards he was like, "How's that done? I have no idea." It probably took me about 5 seconds longer to do the load than I wanted to, and that just comes from a lack of practice. And you know, the more I do it, the better I'm going to be with it. But the nice thing is, even though it took me a few seconds to do the load, I don't think it makes any difference, because I don't think people are going to go, "Well, you know what, that's how it worked because it took him 5 seconds to get the bill tube." Now, when I did it, I had it off to one side in a place that Matt couldn't see, but you could, if you wanted to, have it in your trouser pocket. If you wanted to do this in a cabaret, you could have this in your cabaret case, and you could go into your cabaret case to get the bag that you give to somebody. There's a lot of different options with this, and on the tutorial, they go through so many different ways of doing this and so many different ways of actually performing it. So yeah, I mean, ultimately what you need to know is the gimmick is very well made. The tutorial is great, as you would expect from TCC. There is no live performance, but you know, you see a studio performance, which is better than nothing. But the prop is very well made. They go through everything. You get everything you need with it as well, which I do love about TCC. So you get the padlock. It'd be very easy to say, "Yeah, I'm not going to give you the padlock for this. Go and get a padlock." But you get the padlock, you get the handkerchief, you get a little bag to keep it all in. You get absolutely everything. I love the bill tube. And I think this is a great version. You know, Nick Einhorn a little while ago brought out a bill tube built into a marker pen, which I performed with for a while and really liked. But I think that this is a great version of it. This is a great version of the classic bill tube where you're actually bringing out. And that's the thing that you need to think of. You know, if you're the sort of magician that performs and they only want to use organic items, this might not be for you, because this looks like a magic prop. But if you're the sort of magician that goes, hey, you know what, I don't care, as long as my audience has a great experience, that's all I'm bothered about, then this is definitely the prop for you. This is great. I'm definitely going to do it. I'm going to give it 95%. I think it's really good. And I think that anybody that's in the market for an incredible build to impossible location, along with a tutorial that covers everything that you need to know, then this is a great project to go for. The Wonder Tube from TCC, it gets my highest recommendation. Okay, so the final thing that I want to go through now is the Endless Cup, which is manufactured by Mabro. And this is the Endless Cup. Now, what the Endless Cup is it's a 3D printed cup that looks like a ceramic coffee cup. As you can see the picture there, it looks like a ceramic coffee cup. And basically, there's a couple of different routines that you can do with this. Now, I'm not going to do a live performance of this, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But first of all, let me tell you the routines that you can do with this. They go through a whole bunch of different stuff. But the two main routines that they spend some time on is a 3-ball routine. Think Gadabout coins, but with like paper balls. So they take a napkin and they ball up some balls, and they've got the little cup there. They use the napkin to dry it out so they can see it's empty. And they put 2 balls in the cup, 1 ball in the pocket, and the ball keeps going back into the cup. Or you can vanish the balls and it keeps going back into the cup. And eventually everything disappears. And then when you turn the cup over, there's a bunch of water inside the cup. So the whole idea is that you bring the cup out and there's water in there already, and you tip it out into another glass. You then dry it out. You do this whole routine, and at the end, there's more water inside the cup. So that's the first way that they use it. The second way that they use it is the Endless Cup routine, which is you've got a cup with some water in, you pour the water out. Now there's more water in the cup, you pour it out. Now there's more water in the cup, you pour it out. Now there's more water in the cup, you pour it out, and so on and so forth. Those are the two different ways they actually use this prop. Both ways are cool. I won't lie to you. I don't like this. I've got to be honest with you, I'm not too keen. I do like most of the stuff that TCC put out. I'm not too keen on this. I've been playing around with this pretty much non-stop since I got it. And I just don't find it very reliable or practical. So first of all, the setup is a nightmare. So in order to set this thing up, you've got to, without giving too much away, you've obviously got to put water in it. I mean, it's obvious, right? You're not going to be able to make water appear unless it's actually in there somewhere. But it's not just a case of pouring water into it and then that's it, it's set up. You've got to do the same setup as you have to do with the milk and light bulb. Now, with the milk and light bulb, it's not a problem because the milk and light bulb is marketed as as a stage trick that you do once. This is really a close-up trick. And the setup is a nightmare. So you pour the water in, you have to do something. You pour a bit more water in, you have to do something. You pour a bit more water in, you have to do something. And then you have to put something in place to make sure that water doesn't come out. I don't want to say what you want to put in place, but you get it in the package. So in other words, you've got the water hidden inside the cup. So at the beginning of the routine, you can bring the cup out, you can show there's water in there, tip some water out, dry it out, and in theory, that's what's going to happen. Now, the problem is, and I have tried this non-stop for a few days now. The problem with this comes with the fact that it's not that reliable as far as I can see in my testing. And what I mean by that is when you're doing the ball routine where the balls go into the cup, obviously they're paper. What's happening is the water is seeping into the cup. So the final load that's in there from the very beginning is kind of seeping into the cup. So the balls are getting wet. So I was thinking, right, okay, I'll do a coins across instead and I'll use coins. But what's happening is it's just causing more and more water to appear. So the water's appearing a lot quicker than I want. And the problem with the routine is you're tipping the cup over to take the coins out. And as you're tipping the cup over to take the coins out, just water's dripping out, even though a second earlier you dried it out with a handkerchief or something. So it's obvious that there's something going on. And every single time I've rehearsed it, and I've gone through this, I don't know, 40 or 50 times, if not more, every single time that water comes out too early. So for me, that's an issue. If I haven't got faith in a trick, I'm going to be very nervous performing it, and I haven't got much faith. Now, could it be that I'm not doing it properly? Yes. But I watched the tutorial back over and over again, and I tried it over and over again, and I experimented with different amounts of the stuff that you get, and every single time I tried it, it was activating prematurely. So that's the first problem. But even if you could make this work flawlessly, I still don't think it's that great a trick, because you can't actually make that much water appear. Yeah, you can make a bit of water appear, and if you tip it out slowly, maybe you can make it look a little bit more. But in terms of an endless cup, it ain't endless by any stretch of the imagination, unless you're counting like 5 or 6 tablespoons worth of water endless. And for the big thing they're marketing it with is the balls to cup and then having the water appear at the end. The thing is, I just don't think it's an amazing ending. I just don't think it's that big an ending. I think it would be a bigger ending if something else happened inside the cup. And if anybody's seen Scott Alexander's early work with Bob Kohler, you'll know that there's other ways to do this as well with a regular cup. Like, for example, you can load a water balloon into the cup and then have a spoon with a little needle on at the end. So at the end, you're using the spoon as a magic wand, and at the end you stir it, and now all of the water's appeared inside the cup. There's millions of ways of doing it, which would be far better than this. But let's just say you do like the water finale, and it is something that you quite like. Don't expect to be able to do it table hopping by any stretch of the imagination, because it's a massive reset. The reset is going to take forever, or it's going to take probably about 3 or 4 minutes, and is going to be a little bit messy because you're having to put water in a cup. Even when they were demonstrating setting it up on camera, water was going everywhere. So if you're wanting to reset it at a gig, you're going to have to go somewhere where you don't mind getting water everywhere. So it then becomes really only practical for a close-up show or a parlor show or a one-off thing. But the thing is, it's not that big. It would play to a parlor show audience, probably, but the finale that you get isn't worth the effort that you have to put in, really. And especially when you consider you're going to need a cup, you're going to need this, you're going to need a bunch of stuff. So I'll be honest, I don't like this. I think that this is a case of TCC. You know, they proudly say that this is their strapline on every box. We strive to present the very best magic products to the world. And, you know, generally as a rule, they do that. They absolutely do. But in this case, I just don't think it's practical. I don't think it's reliable. I don't think it's dependable. I don't think it's impressive. I think it adds really what you are buying here as a finale to a trick that they briefly teach you that's okay. I think the original Gadab Out coins is better than this. So yeah, I don't like it. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm going to give it 30%. It's probably one of the weakest TCC items I've ever seen, which is ironic because the tunnel is one of the best TCC items I've ever seen. You know, but there you go. You can't, you know, the amount of props that they bring out, you can't win every single time. And this is just my opinion. Like I say, I might be a klutz. I might be not following the instructions. I doubt it, but that could be the case. It could be. It is just my opinion, but in my opinion, I'm not too keen. So there you go, guys. That's another review show in the bag. Do me a favor. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you like the tricks? Do you disagree? Do you agree? I would like to know what you think. Do you want to see a third TCC review show special? Because if you do, let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to be back again very, very soon with another video, so watch out for that. And yeah, don't forget, if you haven't already done so, join the Netrix, www.thenetrix.com. That's www.thenetrix.com. You can go and join now, get access to everything, including the Discord. We've got hundreds of tricks on there now, and more are being added all the time. Guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.